make your LLC
Yeah.
official.
It's like,
Please don't lose it. My dad.
you've inherited $1 million, but this is the only time that you're gonna get it.
The government has deemed you for the Qatar or the Mexico, USA, Canada 2026 grant
Yeah.
to increase sport in the country. Here's $150 million.
It was finally that Nike sponsorship showed up. It was their official offer letter. My dad
They're like,
said, "What the hell is this
congratulations.
shit?"
They said we dropped Kyrie and Adidas dropped fucking Kanye. We got space for people.
We suddenly have 50 mil in the annual budget. We'd like to sign you.
Scott was
So
like,
everybody,
"Oh, fuck."
we're getting shoes. We're getting our own
Scott was
Deadbolt
like-
TV Nike cleats.
Scott was like, I don't think Connor thinks that that's enough, and just rips it up.
Yeah.
That's
He
too
said,
low.
I'll call him.
Yeah.
Way too low. 7 figures?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, Connor knows his real worth. Just ripped it up straight.
Somewhere Bernard had like a heart palpitation. He was like, oh.
Yeah.
We're
Bernard
like,
just
we're
wakes up
offering
from a
you
deep
$50.
sleep.
And he was like,
They were like, shit. They were like, we'll give you free shipping on all Nike orders. We were like, we're in, baby.
you got us.
Send the contract. I'll sign
What
it right
about
now.
What about a 10% discount on product? No. Free shipping, no. We're like, done. Easy. We're in.
All right. If Nike
You know
reached
what?
out and they were like, we'll give y'all 90% off. So no, we don't get any money, but we get 90% off. Would y'all sign?
Right now, yes, I'd say we'd need to renegotiate in 6 months. I'd be okay with that right now.
So we sign up, buy everything we've ever wanted, then renegotiate immediately.
Yeah.
Correct.
What would be
Okay.
the terms
No, I
of
like
that? Like, we would have to promote Nike.
I don't know. Maybe we just put like a Nike overlay in the top right. I don't know. I'll reach out to my guy at headquarters. Try to get the ball rolling.
Just as a warm up here, if we did get like a Nike, Adidas, even like a Brava sponsorship, what would the first like sponsored DBTV merch be for each of you? Like, what would you make? Would you want to do something
Jersey.
special, like a pair of cleats or a jersey? Not like a training jacket or anything.
That would be the second thing. But like a zip up, a full zip, fire.
A full zip up,
Or like I got this Korean like puffer. Can you imagine like DBTV here? Like,
dude, I'm
shit, you
saying,
could put marathon right here. I'd wear it every day.
Hell yeah, dude!
I'd never take it
marathon
off.
would be sick.
Shit, you could put
That
Puma
would
on
be
there
sick.
and I'd wear it.
You know, I actually don't. I don't know a lot about Puma, but they're very, very popular in Japan. And like I was trying some stuff on over there, and I was like, this is really good quality, and it's like 30% less than Adidas and Nike.
Puma's got some good shit. Like all of the fucking all of the Man City merch that I wear is dope. And I mean, I remember I used to get Puma shoes, Puma cleats back in the
Their
day.
cleats are the best, in my opinion. I think they're the best. They're so good.
They're good. Bro, the Puma, so I tried on the Puma Kings that they gave to Neymar, the Super Kings or what the fuck ever. The white version of the Kings that they re-released for Neymar, and they were like 270. It was like the really expensive kind, and I will say those are the best premium cleats I've ever put on. You know, like I've tried a lot of other brands and like a lot of
walking
other
on clouds,
fancy cleats. Yes, I'll tell you, they weren't exactly the most comfortable, but just the way that they fit, that shit was cold.
They conformed
That shit
around
was
your feet.
cold. Literally, yes. I put that on and I was like, yeah, this is why it costs this much, you know?
I'm gonna guess it's real leather. It's kangaroo leather.
I think it was both. It was like blend and kangaroo leather, but it was so thin. Like, if that makes any sense, like my Copa Mundiales, they are like thick, right? They're thick, so it really helps. Like if somebody steps on you, like the leather's pliable and stuff, but it is still pretty thick and textured.
Yeah.
So like I get that, but you could feel the quality in spite of it being so thin on the Pumas. If that makes any sense.
That's the difference between the Sunday League Special and the Pro Cleat.
Exactly.
Because those boys actually need to feel like they're playing barefoot, essentially.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, when I go out there, you know, it could be 5 inches of leather on there, and I'm like, oh shit. This is definitely what I need, like a pillow strapped to my foot. Stop the ball.
It's exactly
Well,
what I need.
you just need cleats with some good studs, since you like a good studs up slide tackle.
A man after my own heart.
I do like a good studs up slide tackle.
We've been ranting here for 10 minutes. Let's go ahead and get into our final World Cup predictions, everybody. So I'm going to ask a favor of everybody, because y'all have been putting the hot takes in the comments, and I really appreciate that. And we're going to talk about a couple different topics. I'll put all the chapters down below, so you can like skip to whatever part of the video you're interested in. But I think what I'm most curious about is everybody's dark horse. I don't really want y'all to tell me like who you think is going to win, because I feel like there's really only like, if we're being honest and really stretching it, like 5 teams maybe that like most people are fairly confident. But I want to know y'all's like upset picks, y'all's dark horses, because I feel like there's a little more perhaps bias that can play in there, and just a little more teams that we can play with. So comment y'all's dark horses down below in the comment section. We're going to give ours near the end of the video, but we're going to start actually with a revision to all of our prediction videos that we did. We've done a prediction video for groups A through H, and I thought it'd be fun to revisit that very briefly and just say, if there was one pick, it doesn't even have to be an upset, but just one selection we made that we have the least amount of conviction in, that we are the least confident in, that we could change if we could do it all over again. And Connor, I'm gonna start with you. Do you have a team in mind that you were like, after hearing all the facts, maybe you've done some more research, you're like, that was a howler? Let me go ahead and revise that.
I don't know if I had necessarily a howler, because they are, the upsets that I had picked are upsets for a reason. On paper, these teams should, go through, like you sim it on FIFA, these teams are going to win, whatever matches they have 8 to 9 times out of 10. That being said, I think my 2 biggest upsets, I had little faith in Belgium and little faith in Portugal. I think I'm going to go with Portugal. I think I had South Korea going through in the second pick, or in the second slot. That being said,
that was crazy.
I'm glad I wasn't there for that video.
It was crazy, but I have faith in the South Koreans, and I do think there's a world where Portugal underachieves. That being said, there's been entirely too much Ronaldo slander going on lately. Like, I know that he has not been exactly seeing through the Man United situation with flying colors or what have you, but like everybody's talking about how he's a bad person now, and I've been seeing one of the group chats that I'm in, everybody's just slandering him, like, oh, I can't support him, like, oh, they're, it's gonna mess up the locker room and all this stuff. And dude, I'm just thinking, I really don't know. Like, we're forgetting that he, was in the conversation for the greatest of all time for however many years. He's got his golden balls. He's a big game player. He's a big time player. And I'm really starting to feel like a Michael Jordan revenge season sort of coming through here. I do think he has that kind of mentality. And I mean, he proved it to us. He led the Euros, or he led them to their Euro victory in spite of being injured through, their most fucking important game of the tournament. So,
and it's a pretty bang average Portuguese side.
It was a pretty bang average Portuguese side, and this one is not bang average. So I think I'm gonna, if I could revise, I definitely do see a world where this Portuguese side just comes in playing angry. I mean, spite is the great motivator, in my opinion. And I'm really just kind of getting nervous, because all of this chatter that's going on in the football world and the zeitgeist, I think that's nothing but motivation for Ronaldo. And if he utilizes that properly, I mean, they could be a truly scary team.
I think we should do a future segment, maybe later this week, if we want to go into the Ronaldo thing. But I think for the sake of time, we should largely ignore that, though I agree with everything you said. I know Jake, I'm sure he has some things to say as a Man U fan. Jake, if you want to say something quick about it, you can. Or if you just want to like go into your selection, best to bite your tongue.
I will, if I talk about Ronaldo, it'll pitfall into a 30-minute long
If I
tirade.
speak, you're in big trouble.
Yeah.
He's going metaphorically studs up.
Yes.
Yeah.
I shat on Canada kind of for the memes whenever we did Group F. I think they're capable of winning one game. I think I said that they wouldn't win a single damn game. They are capable of winning.
You did. You did. You said
They are
fourth
capable of.
worst showing at the World Cup ever, I believe is what you said.
They are capable of winning one. I don't think they'll make it out of the group still, but they are capable of making one or winning one.
Are you saying that because you saw the Canada beat Japan's B team?
I'm saying that because it's a brand new day. I'm thinking a little more rationally. There's extra maple syrup in the house.
Fresh stock.
Yep. I turned the pillow over last night, the cold side. So, I feel a little more gracious towards the Canadians today.
This man had some poutine the other day, and he was like, you know what? There might be some here.
Maybe so, but who knows? We could talk tomorrow, and I might be back on the anti-Canada train.
Oh my God, it's tomorrow. Oh my God. Yeah. You know when you like get to Christmas as a kid and you're like so excited for the next day? I'm not feeling that at all. It's like the inverse. It's like when you have a test the next day. You know what I'm saying?
I feel the
I'm
same.
ready for
having mad anxiety.
I'm so afraid of what's coming.
I'm horrified.
Not just from a Mexican national team perspective or a US or Japan or any of these boys, but just the sheer amount of goddamn editing I'm going to have to do. Fucking hell, bro.
You'll be fine.
I'm not ready. I'm not looking forward to it.
You'll be fine. You
got to get up at 4 a.m., bro, watching these games. God knows I'm going to do it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm looking forward to watch Tunisia versus Australia. You're damn right.
Oh yeah. I've been scouting bars near my place of work because one of the major work conflicts I have, like an ongoing contract, I have to be at this place at 11. So I'm like looking at places
at night
near my work that I can go to at 5 and then stay there and watch the games until 11.
Yeah.
And but that anxiety is very true. Like I feel like I've told this story before, but every time that Jack used to always be so like confused. He's like, well, why can't I just come over and watch like Argentina games or like a Boca game over at your house? And I was like, that's really difficult. Like I would love to have you there. Like I'll come over and watch the game with you. And he's like, well, why don't we just go to your house? Yes, they are excuses, but it's because every time I'm like, Dad, can we invite Jack over here? We'll have like a little asado and then we'll watch a game. He's always like, I just, I don't want them to see me like that. He's like, I don't want to go over to, the Chadbourne's house and hang out there and be around Scott and Linda. And I'm going to have to be nice and cordial and be friendly. He's like, I don't have fun watching these games. You need
his blood is impure, is what you said.
Whose? Jack's.
You say mine.
Yeah.
No, it's just
Dad
that
saw
it's
me
not
walk in with that Mexico jersey one day and never looked at me the same sense.
Well, right. Yeah, that's kind of dangerous. I mean, the only way you could do it worse is a River jersey. Honestly, even Brazil might be more welcome. But the point is, it's not fun. It's anxiety inducing. We're not watching these games because, at least Argentina, I don't watch the games because I like to watch them. It's fun. I don't watch it because I enjoy it. I watch it because it's my blood inheritance. It's my obligation. It is my duty. It's every Argentine's duty to watch these games. Like I saw a video of this guy and he's like having sleep terrors waking up. Like he'll like sleepwalk and wake up and his wife will find him in the living room and he's like, darling, what day is it? And she's like, there's still 2 months until the World Cup. It's okay. Come back to sleep. And he's like holding his Fernet and Coke. And he's like, pero quiero tomar un Fernet, algo así. She's like, sweetie, it's fucking 4 a.m. Your internal clock's just set to Qatar time. It's okay. That's what it is. That's what this is. It's not an enjoyable time. No, definitely anxiety.
I think if you're having a lot of fun, I think you're doing it wrong. Or
correct.
Your country didn't qualify. And honestly, I'm kind of envious of those people. Like, can you imagine being like, I was going to say, we'll just say Chile, because we always pick on Chile on this podcast. Like, I wonder if Chileans are watching this and they're like, okay, I have no skin in the game. Our arch rival Peru is already out anyways, so it's not like we even have a big team to root against. I'm just gonna watch.
Yes.
I really wonder if you're Chilean and you're watching this, like, how you feeling? How you feeling about the World Cup? Because I am absolutely terrified. We got Argentina next Saturday, I think it is. God help
Yeah.
me.
God
God help
help
the entire
Argentina.
country.
I
Oh my
mean,
God.
I
We
kind of
got
felt
Poland,
that
Argentina
feeling
first. Jesus
in
Christ.
2018 when the US wasn't in there. I was just kind of watching just to watch.
Yeah. After Argentina got knocked out, I remember I enjoyed myself. I was like, you know what? Let's go Belgium. And then Croatia knocked Belgium out, and I was like, let's go Croatia. Obviously, none of those picks went well for me, and my actual prediction of France winning went through, and I was miserable. But it was still fun. Like,
Yeah.
you enjoy watching the games. I sat back, had a
Mhm.
couple of beers, but like, you got to watch these Argentina games dead sober. Like, I can't.
That's
There's
how I
there's
thought
no
AFCON was going to
shot.
be. I was like, we don't have skin in the game. This is going to be a great time. And maybe if the quality of soccer was pretty good, it would have been a good time. You
Yes.
know, AFCON was kind of dry, not because, yeah, it was kind of dry, not because we were like very nervous about anything, but because like there wasn't a lot of good football played. There wasn't a lot to talk about in the recap episodes that we would do. But the World Cup is different. Even my girlfriend, she's never really like seen me watch Mexico because we've been together for 5 years. So she saw the last World Cup, but I was on my internship, which I've spoken about before. The entire office just froze for the whole World Cup. And so she never actually got to see me like live react to the games. And she's like so excited about it. And I'm kind of like your dad, Connor. I'm like, honey, this isn't like, if you think I'm going to have a big smile on my face for 90 minutes while
This isn't a
Mexico's
joking
playing.
matter. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't think you've seen me like this before.
She thinks
Okay.
it's gonna be all cute. She's gonna put on her little Mexico jersey. She's gonna be like, "Yay, let's do this.
Yeah,
Let's sit on the
you're
couch
gonna
together."
take a few selfies and stuff. Yeah.
No, baby,
She's like,
I'm
gonna get my own
standing up.
jersey.
Yeah.
I'm standing up an hour before the game. I'm not sitting down. I might sit down to take a shit in that time, but like outside of that, I'm gonna be yelling at the TV. I'm not
The
gonna be
TV might be
hungry.
broken. Yeah,
Yes.
before halftime.
And this is gonna dictate the way the rest of the week goes. Like it's like an abusive relationship, honestly. It's like,
Oh, bro,
this is gonna set
Christmas
the tone
right
for
here.
the next 48 hours.
Let me tell you, there's no Christmas if Mexico doesn't make it out of the group. I'm returning everybody's gift, including y'all's, and maybe I abstain from the sport for a full year. I do a detox in Nepal.
Yeah,
That might be the only way to continue my sanity,
honestly.
depending on the
You
performance.
might, yeah. You could take up the helm for the Nepal national team coach. They definitely need some help.
That would be incredible. I would love to coach the Nepalese national team. We could do some damage.
I don't
Yeah.
think you could.
All right, you guys have no confidence in me. That's fine. Anyways, wow, that was a tangent. What the
That
hell
was
are
a
we talking
tangent.
about in this episode? Upset with the
Who's your
least conviction.
team? Yeah.
Right. So, Jake, you might not like this one, but the one that I have the least conviction in is Japan, honestly. And it's not because I don't rate the Japanese team. I think the Japanese team are very good. And we got a couple comments about that Canada game. I'm like, bro, literally not one person that started that Japan game is going to start in Qatar. Outside of maybe Kubo, and even Gonda is not like a lock to start keeper. It'll probably be Daniel Schmidt, God willing. Jake's favorite player.
Well, he does have
but
the
I just
greatest
think-
name.
He does. You know, he's a pretty good looking guy too. I got his trading card over here on the desk. I'm not gonna lie, he's a pretty good looking dude.
Daniel Schmidt.
Daniel Schmidt. Yes. Although I don't know how you say that in a Japanese accent, and I'm not gonna try.
I'm not gonna
We're not
try
gonna
either.
We're not gonna
The
try. now.
podcast is doing entirely too well
yeah.
right now.
But I just think the fact that they got Germany and Spain, and not just like two European powers, but two European powers with very successful managers as well, and Japan's manager is pretty mid, if not below average. I'm like, they're gonna have to win in spite of their manager against two superior talent teams. And you know, I'm not changing my pick. This isn't like, oh, let's go back and change, but it's like I don't have the confidence that I do of trying to think of another upset that I had. Like I have more confidence in Iran doing something or Ecuador than I do in Japan. and it's mostly because of their manager. I feel like he's just gonna do some howler, dude. Like when I saw the lineup for Canada, I'm like, bro, this is your last chance to iron out your starting 11, and you played the entire B team. Like if I and this is why my Japanese homies were like, yeah, this guy's trash. Like his squad selection sucks, and I really think it's like his rotation is terrible. Because I'm like, no, I want to see Kamada out there. I want to see Junito. Those guys didn't get in the game till like the 75th minute, 80th minute. The entire back line, Yoshida's not there. Tomiyasu's not there. Nagatomo did start the game, but I'm like, you need your defense to get some reps, bro. It just seemed like it was just another example of like this guy, he just ain't got it. So that would be my pick.
He's starting that B team because he's already got his final squad selection locked in. That can be the only logical answer, which is honestly even more nerve wracking. Like you're stagnant. The World Cup hasn't even started yet, and you're stagnant in your choice.
Right.
I don't know. That gives me anxiety. That's a bad sign to me.
I guess there's like two ways to look at that. You could look at it almost like you're saying, Connor, like, oh, he knows his A team, and that's good because he's confident. But I would look at it, and maybe I'm just being a pessimist, as like arrogance almost. Like you're playing another World Cup team. It's your last chance to see if there's any real problems that this A team has in open play so that, you got 4 days left of training to work on it. And instead you trot out a B team. I'm just like, no offense, Japan, but you're not like that. You're not Brazil.
No,
You're
you
not
don't got it
France.
like that.
You don't got it like that. Like you got a good ass team, but play the starters. Those are the guys who are going to carry you. And when I
They
saw
need
Kamada
reps.
was on the bench, bro, they need reps. They need reps, bro. They're sprinkled all across Asia. I mean, all across Europe. These guys don't play together very often at all. It's already difficult enough for Asian teams. And you're going to come in with that mentality? I was like, nah, this is not for me. All right, one player who fails to live up to expectations. I can start this if y'all want. If y'all don't feel like y'all got a good pick.
Oh, I can start right now. And it's a little
Go.
bit ironic. All right, word.
Okay.
Bernardo Silva about to fold
Really?
like a goddamn plastic table. I'm
Interesting.
telling you, bro. I do not rate that man. I think he's soft. I think the second that he comes up against actual competition here, I really don't think he's built like that. Like, I mean, just think about it. Think about it. Who won the Premier League for us last year? It was Gundogan. He's a big time player. Who scored all our Champions League goals last year at Man City? Fucking Mahrez. He pretty much got us through. Like I don't know. Maybe he had some early tourney goals that I'm forgetting. Maybe he's got some Portuguese goals that I'm just not really considering or weighing all that much. But I think that when you get this man into a high stress scenario, people are going to get physical with him, and he's not going to have his homies from Man City to back him up like he's used to. I mean, maybe Ruben comes through and can defend him a little bit, but he's not going to have the same confidence. He's not going to have the same juice. And at the end of the day, all that may be wrong. I think the motherfucker is soft, and I'm correct about that. I think he's still soft. You
think he's soft?
Mentally, I think he's soft. Spiritually, I think he's soft. He's one of those type of people. He's like, I don't have any religious views. I just believe in energy. You know what I'm saying? Like on some, like keep some crystal rocks in your shaving kit type energy. Like I just don't really rate the guy. And I don't know. I think it was really indicative when a while back he was like, it's always been my dream to play for Real Madrid. And then he changed that tune so fast. He was like, it's always been my dream to play for Barcelona.
Did he really?
Even if it was his dream to play for both of those, maybe it was just misinformation in the media. But I'm just saying, like, if you need a certain mindset to be a Real Madrid player. So it was cool to see he had those aspirations. And now that he's like, I love Barcelona, that just means his agent was like, they don't want you at Madrid. Like you got to be a certain kind of guy to play for that white jersey, And the fact that he switched over to the Blaugrana, I just don't. I don't know.
I guess my thing with that is like I don't really feel like Bernardo Silva has a lot of expectation.
You don't think so?
I don't
I
even think the
feel.
Portuguese are looking at him like that.
I mean, maybe they're not, but the man's coming off a tear at Man City. I could easily see some Man City simps thinking, "Oh, our boys are gonna tear it up." I don't know. I'm just not really feeling it, and yeah, I do think he is a world superstar. They love him in the Premier League. Fantasy Premier League talks about him all the time. I'm selling that. I'm selling that take. I don't want
That's
him cashing
very
out.
interesting.
That is
Bernardo
interesting.
Silva would not even be in my top, like, because again, when I think of Portugal and I think pressure, I think much more of it's going to be on Ronaldo than it would be on Bernardo Silva. And I think if
Okay.
it wasn't on Bernardo Silva, I feel like it would be on Bruno Fernandes
Mm-hmm.
to
Wait,
like
you want to know?
really come
You
through,
want to
or
know
like
who else
maybe
I
even
got?
Rafael Leao. Yeah, who else
I'll
you
give
got?
you another one right now. Kevin De Bruyne.
Give me.
Kevin De Bruyne. I don't think he's gonna pan out here.
Oh no, he puts the
I don't.
Belgian team on his back, dude.
He does
He
put the Belgian team on his back, but how long can he do that?
he
He's
he gets the most frustrated with the Belgium team.
that's
Those
yes.
are the times where I see him like freak
He
out
gets
the most.
red. He looked like me at the gym yesterday, trying to hit
Well, yeah, because he's a
40% of
passionate
my
man. He's
max.
trying to fight
Yeah,
for his country.
he's yeah, exactly. He just doesn't have the same quality that he's used
Interesting.
to around him.
I don't see
No, he's
them
not used to it.
crashing out because De Bruyne makes a mistake. I think they crash out because they're still starting Alderweireld.
Well, I'm not saying they're going to crash out. I'm just saying that these are two players that I don't think are going to live up to expectations. Like, I think that I do think there is some expectation with Bernardo. Like, I don't know how much necessarily. I guess you're right. I haven't seen anybody freak out on Twitter about him, but like to not expect something from Kevin, that would be outlandish. And I just don't know if he does drag them through, great. But like by all metrics, this man should be like up for the golden ball of the tournament. And I just don't think that he's gonna be a far cry from that, is what I'm getting at.
Interesting. I mean, I guess you're right in that he hasn't done a lot for Portugal in like big tournaments. So
Bernardo, or are we talking Bernardo or Kevin?
Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Like he doesn't. I don't think he scored at the Euros. I don't think we've seen his like Man City form, club form, completely translate over to Portugal in like big moments. So I guess in that respect, I can see that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
What you
What
got?
I also just don't like everybody freaking out about his Man City form, even though it's not tenured.
Dude,
To
you
me, it's
must
not
be in a
warranted.
bubble. I don't ever hear anybody talk about Bernardo Silva. Like
You
I never
don't?
see it mentioned.
Not in a negative
No.
light. Yeah, I would agree.
The fact that he starts over Mahrez, and I know that's not Mahrez's true position, but like the fact that Gundogan doesn't start over him blows my mind. Blows my mind. Consistent.
Gundogan doesn't start over Bernardo Silva.
Yes,
That just means Pep rates him better for his system.
I know, but I just don't.
And
It frustrates me
Pep's
greatly.
and Pep's a manager where he will plan out, different formations and different players for different teams.
Yes, very true. Very, very true. Yeah, we ain't got to talk about the Man City
Yeah.
complex right now.
It is complex.
Yeah. Complicated and a complex. What the fuck were we talking about? A player that doesn't live up to expectation.
Ronaldo.
My player is Vinicius, actually.
That's a good shout, actually. That's a good shout. He might not start.
And that's one of the reasons. I don't think he'll start. He'll see, he'll come on. He will be a second half guy, and he's there for depth. And I think he's got a high ceiling. And I say this about all these young kids, especially all the Real kids. I think he's got big things ahead of him. I just don't think this is his World Cup to shine, and I don't think he'll shine in it.
No, that's totally fair. I think that's a great pick. He's really done very little for Brazil.
He has one goal.
Him and Gabriel Jesus, they just can't put it together.
He has one senior
Richarlison is so much better than both of them for the national team.
And it's crazy because I don't think Richarlison replicates that form for Spurs, really. I mean, like, he hasn't really been playing the same way for that. I mean, I don't know.
Different position, too. He's more central for Brazil. I mean, you're not going to push Kane out wide. So Richarlison usually comes in on the wing.
Yeah. Well, Richarlison does play on the wing like a little bit for Brazil. Like he is a little more malleable in that sense. But yeah, he does play center forward for them.
Yeah. I mean, he will
most
be
part.
the center forward for this World Cup because I mean, that's the only thing that I can see Brazil indicating by not calling up Matthias Cunha or another one of their center forwards.
When I go through Twitter, football Twitter, and when I go through even football TikTok, there's a lot of Real stands out there that think Vinicius is going to tear it up this World Cup. You can't tear up the World Cup if you don't even see the fucking field, mate.
Facts.
And you can't say he's going to tear it up when he's only scored one senior goal for the senior national team.
They didn't call up Firmino, did they?
No.
Yeah.
Firmino did not get called up.
Even though I think he's got the best goals and assist tally right now for
he does. He's
in the
doing
Prem.
really well. Can I chime in here? Are you gonna say something, Jack?
Sure, go.
Y'all are fucking wild. Y'all are absolutely crazy. I don't know. We must have been watching different Copa Americas because even though Montiel pocketed that motherfucker in the final, which I think was game winning. I was talking about that with another Argentine guy recently. I think that Vinicius looked horrifyingly dangerous in that Copa America final. He was a true nightmare there, and I think if we had anybody else playing right back, it would have been absolutely a miserable game for us. I think that game single-handedly got Montiel the transfer over to Europe. I rate Vinicius highly. I think he's not afraid to be a big game player. So this tournament might be good for him. And even if he doesn't see the field, which I don't know, I think their roster rotation setup is going to be a lot different. Like, I don't think Neymar's going to be playing on the wing the whole time. I think we're going to see much more of a 10 style Neymar than we have previously. I don't know. I really rate Vinicius, and I think that whatever impact he can have, he will have. So,
and don't get me wrong, I rate him overall, and I think he will be a future superstar, and he's got a very high ceiling, similar to, dare I say, Foden or a Bellingham.
I think he's better than Foden
or Musiala. That kind of pedigree, even though those lads are younger than him.
And Musiala plays center.
But you just don't make an impact if you're only seeing 20, 25 minutes a game for Brazil. And I don't think Tite is going to start him, right?
No, he probably won't.
I could see him getting a good 25 minutes in, and then he becomes the starter.
I feel like he'd be starting more in qualifiers and getting more game time in the qualifiers and the friendlies.
All right. Okay.
And plus, it's like Jake said, I think when I think of players with expectation, I definitely think Vinicius has expectation because he plays for Real Madrid and he starts for Real Madrid. Like Bernardo Silva, I don't think anybody gives a shit, honestly, like outside of Portugal. Like, I don't know if the Germans are right now like quaking in their boots at the prospect of going up against Bernardo Silva. I mean, I think they think he's a solid player and he is good, but Vinicius is like, I mean, he's borderline overrated and it's not his fault. It's just all the goddamn stands, like Jake said.
Yeah.
Like everybody's saying that like he's the best winger in the world, all this stuff. You're not even going to start, bro.
No, that's too much.
And that's why I think like expectation. Oh, good God. You were literally a sin for this one.
Jesus Christ.
No, I'm gonna boot you off the podcast for saying that again. That was absolutely
that's a good
horrible.
call.
Don't get me started on him. Don't get me started on Garnacho
honestly,
right
bro.
now.
Give me Christian Pavon back. Give me Christian Pavon right now.
I don't know about all that.
Okay.
I don't know
Give me
about all
Christian
that.
Pavon.
No.
That is
where even that man's washed. Where is he even right now?
I have no idea.
Probably
last time I saw he was at the Galaxy, but I don't know. I honestly have no idea if he's still alive. I hope he is, saying that out loud. My player was actually Memo Ochoa.
Holy shit, you're gonna get
I think
much backlash.
That hurt.
No, it's not gonna be his fault. Dude, the defense is They're going to get exposed. They're going to get exposed. I think he's going to have a decent World Cup. I don't think he's going to have a bad World Cup.
You saying that he's not going to live up to expectations almost implies to me that you think he's going to let in goals.
I don't think he is going to. We are going to see 2014 and 2018 Memo Ochoa, who, like, the reason we beat Germany is because of his saves. The reason that we tie Brazil is almost entirely. It is because of him entirely. Keeping games close, big saves against Croatia, against Cameroon. I just don't see it happening again. I think he's been very average for America. Like, he's still the GOAT, like, but he's 37, 38 now. And, bro, like, Tata Martino's doing some weird stuff. I don't know if Araujo's going to start at right back. If he does, we're done. Jorge Sanchez, decent defender. I have more issues with his offensive game, but I just see him facing a lot of shots against, Saudi Arabia. I think he'll have a decent game because we should win, and we should win with possession. Poland, I don't think Poland's better than Mexico, but again, they just have that size advantage. It's a big mismatch. I mean, Poland had to have looked at Mexico being their pot 2 team and been like, fuck yeah, this is who we wanted.
Yeah.
We're a smaller team with an old goalkeeper, and it looks like Tata Martino is going to start Hector Herrera and have Edson Alvarez on the bench. That's just what the rumors are. Anyways, I just think that Memo's going to get exposed. Not like his quality is going to get exposed, but I mean, the back line is literally going to leave him on an island to die. Yeah. And he's going to do what he can, and he's still going to have a highlight save, probably a few. I don't doubt that, but we're not going to get to the round of 16 because of Memo Ochoa like we've done before. I think it's unfair to ask it of him as well. I mean, he's a goalkeeper. He can only do so much. The team's got to score. Who's going to score? Alexis Vega? I hope so. But that's my take. I see it, like the whole meme is like, oh, like here comes World Cup Ochoa. I hope that he has 20 saves per match. It's his World Cup record. Nothing would make me happier. But the way the team is constructed, exactly, and the opponents we're facing, the caliber of opponents, I don't see it, man. I don't see it.
Who's the
Argentina been scoring for fun?
Who's the backup keeper for Mexico?
It's probably Talavera, who's 40 years old. And if it's not him, it's Rodolfo Cota, who plays for León in Liga MX. Not a fan. Let's just say I'm not a fan. We're gonna keep it there. I got nothing else to say. It's peak.
So random farmers and plumbers and teachers.
I mean, I think Talavera's earned the third goalkeeping position. He's done things for the national team. Why the hell Cota's in there, I could not tell you. Why David Ochoa is not called up, could not tell you. Why Carlos Acevedo's not called up, could not tell you.
Slip Tata a few pesos.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think Tata doesn't care at all.
Yeah, mentally he doesn't believe in this team anymore, and he's just seeing out this World Cup as best he can, and then he'll leave and he'll take a couple years off, and we'll see him, I don't know, coaching in the Argentine National League or something. Probably. You have not been in a good place. For you to say that about Ochoa, you've been thinking about this. You really are having anxiety right now.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I'm trying not to look into it too much, but the Sweden game was the friendly we just had.
Yeah.
It kind of scared me. One, because they beat our ass in Russia, like destroyed us. And I was looking at it again, bro. I don't even know who some of these Swedes are. It's taken 3 Mexican defenders to get him off the ball. Yeah. And I'm thinking, this guy plays for fucking Malmo FC, respectively. And we're about to go up against Zelensky. How are we going to get these boys off the ball?
Yeah.
And instead of some rando in the back playing keeper like they had for Sweden, we're going to have Szczesny, top 10 goalkeeper in the world. So we got to score against this dude. I don't know. Without Raul Jimenez, who can barely run, Jesus Corona, my boy's out. Alexis Vega, I'll give him credit. He's been balling, but can he do it at a World Cup? I don't know. They want to start. If Charlie Rodriguez starts in the midfield, Jesus Christ. I don't know. There's just a lot of structural things wrong with Mexico. And I feel like Memo Ochoa is expected to gloss over that. And it's just completely unrealistic.
Yeah.
Completely. He will have a decent World Cup, but I don't think he will be the best goalkeeper. I don't think he will be a top 5 goalkeeper like people are expecting. So I don't think he's going to suck, but I think Mexican fans, and I think even international fans who don't know a lot about Mexico, the bar is set high. And it's not going to be reached, I don't think.
Well, this kind of goes against my whole creed, and really just logistically, it's a shit show. But I hope he does really well. That is the one. I don't know, the one thing that I'm drawn to about the Mexican national team. I think I'm learning to respect it a lot more lately, just because I've been, looking into it and learning a lot more about them. But I mean, Memo Ochoa is a mainstay. You have to
Right.
respect his career internationally, and I'm gonna be rooting for him. If not for the green and red, I'm gonna be rooting for him because, I mean, after seeing that stadium in San Antonio, seeing that ocean of red, green, and black, I mean, you just see how much that this man means to those people, and that I just could not. I will never forget the noise that crowd made when that man and his beautiful, beautiful mop on top of his head walked out of the dressing room, out of the locker room. I mean, I felt it in my bones. So I'm gonna be praying for that man.
Yeah. Oh, he could run for office. I think he'd win once he retires. I'm not kidding. He'll run for office, I think. Or if he does, I think he would win because he's just that popular. But again, I just think we're putting too much pressure on him.
Yeah,
and it's not fair, to be honest. But
no, it's really not.
my second was Christian Pulisic.
Ooh.
What y'all think about that?
All I'm saying is that people have started calling other people Captain America. It's gone from Christian Pulisic to just whoever wears the armband. And Tim Ream is in the discussion for that now. So
I agree.
I think that's
I agree that he is not a type of guy who's going to hold the whole U.S. team on his back. I'm not sure he's ever been that guy throughout his whole playing career for the national team.
Right. I think it'd be a statement if he goes off and carries the U.S. to round of 16 or something.
Yeah.
Then that would be a statement.
He
and
would
at
have
that point,
to
I think he would
score-
have to leave.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He would definitely have to leave Chelsea. He would have to score all the goals in the group stage for me to consider him being a hard carry.
Did y'all see
What if all the
fucking
goals is
Alexi
one?
Lalas's bracket? Did you see him? Did you see his
Yeah, I did.
prediction? He
I
had the
did.
United States in the semis. He had
He
the
has them beating
U.S.
Mexico in the
in the
quarters, I think.
semis.
It's a marketing
No
ploy
shot.
by these pundits. They have
It
no idea
has
what's
to
going
be,
on.
dude. It has to be, bro. He heard me talking about how I respect him, and he was like, "We can't have that."
When
We
the
can't have
pundits
that.
start with their
You're in
group
the mud.
A and they're like, yeah, Senegal and the Dutch are going through, I'm like, okay, y'all don't watch national.
No, you have
y'all don't
no
watch
idea what
international
you're
football.
talking about.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah, no, when I see Ghana in the quarters, I tune out
yeah.
immediately. If you got Cameroon beating Brazil, I'm just like, I can't talk to you. I don't know what to say. Yeah, I think he had Brazil Serbia as the final.
Brazil,
Which Serbia,
Croatia,
look,
I think.
No, I'm like 99% sure it's Serbia.
It's
He has
Serbia in
Serbia
the
beating
final?
the U.S. in the semifinals. Yep.
They,
I've only seen it twice.
they're my dark horse. They're my dark horse.
You want? Let's just jump into that now. That's your dark horse.
They're my dark horse. The Serbs. You know, I love my Eastern European boys, and I think they're fairly underrated. I mean, they are in a similar sense to Croatia. They've got good players across the pitch. It's their depth where you get randos that play in like Belarus league, that come off, after halftime. But they've got some attacking firepower. I mean, Vlahovic, Mitrovic, and Savic. I mean, those guys are ballers. Let's just see if they can piece it together. And I mean, I think they easily get out of Group G.
Easily, I don't know. The Swiss are tough. You weren't there for that video, but I think that's gonna. I mean, that is the group for them. They beat the Swiss. I think they have to go through.
Yeah, I think they can do it. I mean, hopefully they've been prepping for that and they're praying for a tie with Brazil.
They could tie Brazil for sure.
Yeah.
They'd have to score twice, but they could tie Brazil for sure.
Yeah.
And they should stomp Cameroon. Absolutely stomp them.
Africa in the mud. We keep saying it. None of those teams make it out of the group.
And
Not a
and
hot
I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. We got a lot of Morocco hate in the comments, which you love to see, but
We ain't wrong.
or hate from Moroccans, but
We ain't wrong.
I
mean,
hope they do well. And we admitted, for the record, everybody was like, "Y'all are you're fucking underrating all of this." We were like, "Yes, we said that. We mentioned every single one of these players. We said we don't think they're doing anything." So,
No. I mean, dude, look, the truth lies somewhere in between. Moroccans are
Yes,
overrating
correct.
their team so hard.
and
So
maybe
hard.
maybe
And
we're
you know what?
underrating a little bit.
Maybe we are, but as somebody without skin in the game, like I'm just going off what I've seen, and so are you guys, and we haven't seen shit.
Mm-hmm.
We have not seen anything from this Moroccan team, and it's a tough group. Yeah, they could catch Belgium slipping and score a goal against them, but can they beat Croatia? Can they beat Belgium? That's what you got to do at the World Cup level. This isn't AFCON anymore. You don't have Burundi in your group, okay? Like there's no Mali anymore. Things are a little tougher now, and I just don't know if they can do it against the big boys like that. No, Serbia is a great shout out for Darkhorse. I think if Serbia, here's the thing, I'm like less certain about their group stage performance than their knockout performance. Like if they get out of the group, I'd be like, man, these boys really could go all the way. But can they get out of the group? Can they get that result against the Swiss that they need?
Mm-hmm.
Can they I'm not even gonna say youth, but like as a national team, Serbia is very unproven. Like they didn't even go to the last Euros. Can they put it together in a high pressure situation and defeat this Swiss guard that has been so solid for so long? I think of the last like 6 World Cups, I thought I heard somebody say they made it out of the group 5 times. Like these guys do very well at the World Cup. And then they usually crash out in the round of 16. But I mean, they're a tough side, and that's the question mark with me for Serbia. Who's your dark horse, Connor?
It's not much of a dark horse, but Denmark. And when I say dark horse, I mean I think they can make it to the final. And maybe I'm just riding a hype train here, but I mean the consistency, the storyline, everything's just
A little
lining
bit.
up a bit too perfectly here. And yeah, I kind of rate them. I kind of rate them a lot. I will be horrified to see if if Argentina catches a Denmark in like a game that matters. I'll be biting my nails.
They're a scary
That's a
team
horrifying.
when
They're
they're
a
on one.
scary team. Yes, correct.
Well, actually, you guys would play them in the round of 16.
Yeah.
If Argentina wins the group and Denmark gets second, and they could beat Argentina. Like they have the talent to do so.
They do. Oh yeah, no. I mean, no. Argentina's looking at what is it? It's Denmark or France, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What the fuck kind of round of 16 is that? What the fuck? And everybody's saying we're gonna win it. I'm sitting over here like, cool.
Y'all gonna get
Yeah, how
tested?
you think Mexico feels, bro? How you think Mexico feels? France round of 16, if we even make it out.
Y'all gonna get tested.
Fuck
That's all I'm saying.
You can get tested against the Saudis.
Both of y'all need to get tested.
So just going back to the Serbs really quick, and I don't know if y'all knew this. In the 2018 World Cup, they also played Switzerland and Brazil in the same group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
they lost to the Swiss on a 90th minute winner from Xherdan Shaqiri.
And they lost to Brazil.
Dude, Shaqiri's a freak. Shaqiri is
that
a
is
freak,
straight FIFA corruption. How do you draw the same teams twice?
I mean, isn't it France, Denmark, Tunisia again? It's because the pots don't change that much, which is why they just need a new guy. It should go off of like ELO or something.
It should be truly
because I mean, yeah,
it should be.
I'd be okay with that too.
Random country names in a hat, and you pick some kid to pull it out of the hat.
I think the first teams should be off merit because I think you should get some reward for like winning your qualifying. You know what I mean? I think there should be some incentive.
That I
Otherwise,
agree. Yeah.
So
but again,
maybe
after that, yeah.
all the other teams are drawn randomly, and then the teams with the best records get to maybe pick. They get to draft their spots. That might be cool. That'd
Dude,
be
I've always
interesting.
thought it should be double elimination. Like if you make it to round 16 and you lose, you just go to the losers bracket and you have to battle your way up for third.
That'd be sick.
That'd be sick.
That would be kind of cool.
Damn, that's.
You got to talk to Arsene Wenger. You know he's fucking all
I'm gonna give him a
about that
call.
work.
I got his email.
All right, word. What did
I'm gonna give him
Cheyenne
an email.
say the other fucking day? He was like, I think I can make that call happen.
Oh, yeah.
Who the fuck do you know, bro?
I don't know. He's plugged in. He's
France,
plugged in.
He is plugged in.
Australia, and Denmark. Yeah.
I'll say on Denmark, they were my dark horse as well, and I really like that they have a good manager. The Serbs, I don't know who their manager is, but I don't think he's done that much. Jake, maybe you can like look into him. But I really rate what a manager can do. And I was really torn between Denmark and Uruguay because like Diego Alonso hasn't really done much at the club level, but he's turned Uruguay, as far as we can tell, into a machine. And so I think they are dangerous. But when he comes up against a elite coaching mind, will he be able to get Uruguay over the line? Like, will he have the know-how when he's playing Brazil in the round of 16 or the Serbs and they go down a goal in the first half? Does he have the tactical wherewithal to make the necessary adjustments, both in personnel and strategy, to have Uruguay come back and win? That's just where I'm kind of like, I would rather put my eggs in Casper Yeoman's basket just because of what we've seen at the Euros, and he's just been there longer.
Yes. Yeah, I completely agree.
Can I ask?
And yeah.
Can I? Oh, go ahead. No. I want to hear what you say first.
The thing about Uruguay is that I don't really see them as much of a dark horse because of their pedigree. And bro, I've seen a couple people in the comments talking about how everything that's happened in past World Cups doesn't matter. It does. It does. Pedigree is the reason that Man City can't win a Champions League because it's hard to break in there. The competition is played at a different level, and if your nation, your infrastructure, your players don't have that experience, it is really hard to cut a groove out for you. Okay? And I think that Uruguay does have that pedigree. I mean, they've got a couple World Cups in the bag. They may have been a long time ago, but they have a long and storied history of playing against European teams and big teams and doing well. I think Denmark is still, I don't know about entirely unproven because they're doing quite well right now, but I think they're much more of a dark horse. So, yeah, that's what I will say.
I wanted to very briefly, because we don't have much time left, ask for y'all's thoughts about Spain. And I know, Jake, you think they're frauds, but I'm a little. I feel like they're a weird team because I see a lot of slander towards Spain. In fact, I see almost nothing good about Spain except like the argument that Luis Enrique is the best international manager at this World Cup. And I think there's an argument to be made there. If you pick Spain, are you picking a dark horse or are they really truly a favorite, do you think?
I think they have a massive amount of talent and people don't expect them to crash out as early as they have previously. And so, no, I wouldn't call them all that much of a dark horse. To win it, yes, they are a dark horse, but to do well, no, I think Spain will do well this World Cup.
Yeah, I don't think they're a dark horse in the traditional sense as a Denmark or a Serbia, or if you had a howler like saying Ghana was going to win it for some reason.
Yeah.
I think you could possibly say that they're a dark horse in the sense that I feel to anyone that is not a Barcelona stan, I feel there's really little to mild expectations for them this World Cup. You know, I think their expectation is to get out of the group and then just kind of see what happens from an average football fan's perspective. Now, if you ask, like I said, a Barcelona fan or, you know, an actual Spanish national, they probably want to go all the way to the final. But that shit just ain't happening. Not with this squad. Too young.
Which is interesting because they have a young squad, which is something people use against them, and they have no goal scorer. Almost their entire attack, Dani Olmo, Ferran Torres, Yeremy Pino, Nico Williams, like a child. None of them are really coming in particularly good form, and yet I looked at the Vegas odds; they're the 5th highest chance of winning, and I'm like, I don't know. I guess it's not clicking in my head like what everybody's saying, what the odds makers are saying, and I guess the real potential of this team. I don't know, because like I wanted to say Spain because I think they were the only team that deserved to beat Italy at the Euros. I thought they were very impressive in that typical like 1-0 win Spain fashion where it's just dominant, but it's not really showing up on the scoreboard. And if I'm looking at the group, I mean, if they make it out, they're either going to play Belgium, Croatia, or Morocco in the round of 16. That is very winnable for Spain. And then quarters, I'm not sure who they'd have. Looks like maybe Brazil or Uruguay, Serbia, something like that. I don't think they have like the toughest road once they get out of the World Cup. I mean, out of the group stage. So I don't know. I was like, do I put them as a dark horse? Because they're not. I mean, Spain. Saying Spain's a dark horse is just kind of weird. But I feel like if they make it out, they're going to go far. If they can score as well. But anyways, I was just curious what y'all thought about that.
Yeah, that's the biggest what if.
A case could be made to say that they are dark horses. Yes, a case could be made for sure. But I don't know. I think we're at the end of the day, it is Spain.
Yeah, and that's a good transition to the next one. What team do you guys think has the biggest change, good or bad, to their global reputation after this World Cup?
I hate to keep shouting them out. I'm hoping Japan has an upset against at least maybe Spain or Germany and has a good showing against those boys. I think that would really put them on the stage and help elevate their presence in the international stage.
Do you think if Japan makes it out the group, do you think most people will elevate them to that tier 1 footballing nation, or what would it take to do so?
I think they'd have to make it past the round of 16.
Quarterfinals?
I'm thinking quarters. Semis would be a huge, massive statement by the Japanese. I mean, like that would alter the landscape of football in Asia if they made semis.
Got a tear in my eye. Pardon me.
That'd be incredible. That would truly.
Wow.
And another shout I have is I'm thinking Iran. I'm thinking Iran will put the Middle East kind of on their back as well, and they're going to make one of these 3 teams at Group B look like damn fools. I hope it's not the U.S., but it might be.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
The Vegas odds are really pointing to the U.S. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I think one of these teams is going to be woefully unprepared for Iran, and they're going to think they're some just random desert people, essentially. And my money would be on the U.S., but like I said, I hope it's not the U.S., but I mean, they're going to catch one of these teams slipping.
Oh, that match is going to be fun.
It's going to be horrifying. Are you kidding me? We're going to be like, yeah, 1776. Let's start a rivalry with the British. We're going to forget about our actual real life rivals with Iran. Jesus Christ, this is going to be bad.
Yeah, we're going to forget about the events in the world the past 20 years.
Yeah, forget the 20 years. Let's go back 200. Let's start something real. Fucking idiots.
Yeah.
All right.
Jay's kind of going Asian. The Asian team step up is kind of what the theme, the motif in Jake's selections.
Bro, I think Ecuador.
Wow.
I'm out
I'd
here.
love to hear it.
I think I'm out here. I'm riding that hype train. I'm riding that hype train. This is 100% full disclosure, completely biased here. I think Ecuador they definitely have the potential for upward movement. Can they do it? I don't know, but if they do, bro, oh my God. I'm really banking on them. I'm banking on them. I think they could really put themselves on the map. That being said, if they did have like a crazy run, I think it would just seem to be an outlier. So I just hope that they perform really well overall. Maybe not necessarily going super far, but I just hope that they put on consistently good showings so that they can sort of build their international brand. You know, I think
Mhm.
that would do more for them than actually making like a run to like the quarters or, you know,
Okay.
something like that. Like if they made it to the round of 16 and they crashed out in like a really good game, I think we could hear a lot more talk about them going
Do you think
forward.
it's possible to do what you're saying with like a good third place showing in the group? Like, let's say they maybe get 5 points or 4 points, but they don't go through via goal differential or fair play or something. Do you think that would be enough?
They'd have to have some really special games. They'd have to have some really special games.
That's a good
Like
shout,
I'm
though.
I'm 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 talking they would have to have two games contenders for game of the tournament. And they'd have to score a lot of goals.
Ecuador and goals.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
not best
That's
friends. It's not peanut butter
I'm
and jelly.
yeah. So like it could happen, but I don't think realistically that's going to happen. I think they'd have to make it through and then lose in a truly exceptional showing in the round of 16.
Okay. No, that's a great shout. I feel like Ecuador is kind of similar to the US in that the eyes are really on 2026 for when expectations will be there. Like Ecuador are ahead of schedule. As far as I'm concerned, they should not be at this World Cup. Given the amount of youth on this team, they had no business being as good as they were in CONMEBOL qualifying.
Yeah.
And I mean, the defense is stacked. I think if they make it to the round of 16, I mean, just watch out for Ecuador at the next Copa. Like they're gonna on home soil.
It'd be scary.
I can't wait, dude. I'm so excited. I just hope they have that like fearlessness that we generally associate with South American teams. I hope their youth doesn't like translate into nervousness and they kind of like break down. I don't think they will because these boys from the trenches, but yeah, that's a great shout. I would love, man, if Ecuador got to the round of 16 and
They should be playing with zero expectations. I mean,
it should be.
No one is expecting anything out of them from the World Cup.
Am I fair in saying that they have the least amount of expectations in Group A?
Yeah.
The least amount of pressure.
Dude, I feel they have the least amount of expectations, maybe a hot take, out of all the groups.
African teams have more pressure than Ecuador does.
African teams have way more pressure than Ecuador.
Yeah.
Because they're like representing the whole continent. I mean, like when you think about South America, the continent as a whole, you think of the big boys, Argentina, Brazil, and I guess Uruguay in the World Cup, But past those teams, I mean, they're like, where's Ecuador on the map? You ask a random football fan in Qatar that, they're like, where is that?
Right.
Is that on the east side of South America? The west side,
Right. No, actually, Jake, I think I'm going through the teams now. I actually think that's a really good shout. I mean, even if we think Saudi Arabia and Qatar and Iran to a degree, it's their backyard. I mean, literally for Qatar and Saudi Arabia and Iran, not too far away. So I even feel like they have some pressure, like pseudo home field advantage. African teams, like you said, there's like 55 different nations that compete to get here.
Mm-hmm.
Even like in Asia, the rest of Asia, I'm thinking like Son might be his last World Cup. There's pressure there. The Japanese with how much talent there is.
And I feel like these other continents, they will rep their country before their continent, of course. But I feel Africa's different where, I could see the Congolese people, they will root for all the African.
Congolese.
Congonians.
Yeah.
Congonians?
The Congonians, yes.
The Congars.
That sounds sick, dude. I wish they were the Congars.
They will root for all the African teams, I bet. Just to see someone from their continent make it through.
Yeah, I think you're spot on with that.
I'd be curious to see how that works. You think they're supportive of each other, huh?
I don't think the Nigerians want the Ghanaians to do well, but I think in general, yes.
In this sense, in the World Cup, yes, because it puts their whole continent on the map. But you would never see that from bringing it to North America. Like you wouldn't see a U.S. fan rooting for Mexico.
No.
No.
For sure not rooting for Canada.
No. After all the shit they've talked the past year, hell no.
Yeah.
That bridge has been burned.
I would rather die by the sword than do that first. a true Dragon Rider's death.
That'd be the end of Deadball TV there.
Die by the sword. That's probably the most metal shit you've ever said.
All right, I'm going to go quickly because we don't have much time left. I think, and this is a negative sense, I think it's Belgium. Connor, I'm kind of with you. I think they have a disappointing World Cup. I think that whole golden era reputation takes a big dent in this World Cup because I really feel like the only way they go up is a semifinal at the very least, and I just don't see it. I don't see it. I mean, there's a chance that Canada upset them and Belgium don't make it out. That's a real possibility, or they just get smacked by Spain or Germany or Japan in the round of 16. So I see too many hurdles for those guys. I think that Belgium crash out reputation-wise. On a positive note, I'd say Canada, just because nobody knows who they are. They probably associate Canada with polar bears and Sidney Crosby. And I think that this World Cup, even if they get a win, I mean, a win is massive for Canada. That might not be what Canadian fans want, but the international stage, I mean, ask some random Uruguayan what he thinks about Canada. I have no idea what he would say, but I bet you he does not say Alphonso Davies. I bet you he doesn't even know who Jonathan David is because he plays in France and nobody watches the French league, not even the French. So I think literally the only place to go is up. At least Ecuador, they've been in this is their third World Cup, I think, third or fourth. Canada, been since the 80s, bro. Nobody was alive back then. Basically 100 years ago at this point.
There was no TV back then? Shit.
No TV, no radio.
Yeah.
No satellite, no nothing. So
yeah, they were playing by candlelight out there.
Really. They had torches around the pitch so that people could see. And the ref was on the course running around trying to keep up with people.
Right.
All right, real quick. Let's end this soon. Let's do y'all's winner. Who's winning the World Cup?
I'm not doing this.
Shit.
You are doing this.
I'm not doing this. No, I'm not.
Say it.
No, I'm not going to do it.
Look at
I'm
how
not saying
low
shit,
you got me. You got me low down here now.
I know. It tells me you're not very confident in what you're about to say.
It's just I feel we're gonna say something and
look like idiots.
There's so much that can happen at the World Cup. I mean,
well, no one's gonna think you're a bellend if you inaccurately guess the winner of the World Cup. I mean, if it was that obvious, it wouldn't be fun to watch.
Can I give 3 countries that I think are in the running for contention? Is that better?
Two?
Instead of picking
I'll give
one?
you 2 at the max. 2 at the max.
South Korea, Japan? No.
Wow. What are the odds on that? They actually have the same odds. They have the same odds.
Teams to win.
Have you not thought about this until right now?
No, I have. I was trying to skirt around the so Argentina. There's a lot riding on those boys. Unfortunately for Connor, there's a lot riding on him. Truly. And we're talking
I'm loving every second of this.
Not even 2022 current riding, like historically for honor of the nation, this is the biggest tournament for them since the 90s.
No, you're right. A loss here takes them back as a civilization 200 years.
Oh, I agree. I think they lose written language. They probably don't even know how to speak to each other if they don't win here.
Mm-hmm. They might become a colony again.
Yeah. And then I don't know what the Argentinian currency is called down there, but its value is going to...
It's an Argentine peso.
Oh, dude, the value of that's just going to plummet.
It's already plummeting.
Shit, dude, you're going to need like 1 million Argentinian pesos to buy like 1 roll of toilet paper, I bet.
I think it's 1.5 million right now. So
yeah. So just times that by 4 if y'all don't win the final.
Don't even talk about Charmin Ultra Strong.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's your single ply.
Triple ply, that shit.
Yeah, it's no better than your hand at that point. The other team, maybe the Dutch. That's
Wow.
a hot take. Maybe the Dutch.
I respect it.
I think when we first talked
that's
about them,
respectful.
they've got something to prove, and I think they will ride on that. They will ride on the wave that they've really got something to prove this time, and I think that can propel them pretty far in this.
No, I like that. I don't think they'd have the toughest ride either. They would potentially play Brazil in the semis. Ooh, and Argentina in the quarters. All right, maybe it is a tough ride. Never mind. But they can do it. They have the roster for it. I'm going to go. I'm glad you didn't go double South America. I'm going to go Argentina as well, who I think are going to win it. And then my second has to be a European team, and I'm honestly going to go Spain, dude. I'm honestly going to go Spain.
You're a La Liga stan.
If England win it, I mean, God, I don't know what would happen. If France win it back-to-back, I don't think they built like that. And Brazil, too emotional. Too emotional. Something will happen. Somebody's going to get a red card in a knockout round, and they're not going to be able to recover.
Yeah.
Smart prediction. What you got, Connor? You don't have to say Argentina.
I've been thinking about how to answer this question for weeks because I've known this is coming. I've known that I'm going to have to fucking do this.
You do.
You do.
Contractually obligated.
You need to spill your soul out right now.
That Nike sponsorship came in the mail, and they were like, "He's got to say it." I was like,
There's not an off-screen gunman in front of you, is there?
My brother, maybe.
Why don't I just put it this way?
You can put it however you want.
We all have a pretty clear idea of who we know I want to win it all. That being said, I think Brazil makes it to the final, and I think Germany's got a pretty good shout too. And to be completely honest, I think France could very well end up there again. That being said, wherever these, and I'm going to get kind of sappy here, but wherever Argentina ends up, I was talking about this in the group chat the other night, and just the more and more I've been reading and watching and learning about these guys, this is the best Argentina squad that I've seen in my lifetime. And that's saying a lot because I truly loved the 2014 Argentina legends like Mascherano, Zabaleta there too. I mean, you just have some of these legends of the game that are no longer playing. I think the Argentine pedigree has redeemed itself after some pretty embarrassing showings for the last few years. Lots of strife, tribulation, multiple retirements, just a lot of shit. Wherever Argentina ends up this year, I think the entire nation is going to be behind them. The culture just seems a lot healthier this year and this time around. The goodbyes that people have said to the Argentine boys, I mean, it's like they're going off to war. It's like, the Americans shipping off in World War II. You see that in movies, people are throwing champagne bottles against ships and stuff. I think it's very much the same vibes, and I'm just really proud to be Argentine this year. It is a good year for us, and wherever they end up, I'm going to be really proud of them. The entire nation is behind them, and yeah, I really don't think we could have a better group of guys going there. That being said, the expectation is very, very high. How's that for a diplomatic answer?
Yes.
So you think Argentina is going to win?
I'm not saying shit. No. I told you what I want. Pero querido, the games have to be played. Los partidos se tienen que jugar, and
Yep.
I'm not fucking going any further than that. The Zeitgeist doesn't need any more bullshit. You've heard the songs. You've heard the songs. I've posted them in the group chat. I know the songs. And guess I don't say certain words in the songs because I'm not putting that shit out there. These boys know what has to be done.
It sounds like, though, you're rather confident that the cup is coming to South America.
I would say
done
that
in a long time.
European dominance has been very high up there for a long time, and I think South America has a really special showing this year. Yes, so yeah. I would say that if I was a betting man, the cup is coming back to South America.
Wow, I hope so.
I
really
shouldn't even have
so.
fucking said that. Anula Mufa.
Oh, this is gonna be such a great World Cup.
That sounds like
depends on what team you support. I don't really think Mexico's gonna have the best World Cup. But they've proven me wrong in the past. I don't know, dude. It's about to be peak. This is about to be high stress, people. Probably gonna be no smiles in any future videos, regardless of the result. Truly.
Oh, I'm smiling.
Jake gonna be smiling.
It's gonna be a great time. Other than those 4 a.m. games, those won't be smiles.
That's gonna be trash, dude.
It's gonna be trash. We're gonna be there like.
We should before we wrap it up, we should plan, if our fans want us to, talk about the bullshit that's happening in Qatar. Just a quick debrief on that. There's a lot of shit that keeps popping up on it.
There's a lot in there, yeah.
And we can do that, but I gotta go. So.
Yeah. So you got to go to work.
Yep.
So we're gonna wrap this up right now. If you enjoyed the episode, guys, and you're watching on YouTube, y'all know what to do. Y'all know the drill. Leave a like on the video, subscribe, and leave your Darkhorse down below in the comments. I appreciate you guys getting us to 41 reviews. I believe I saw last time on Spotify. So shout out to y'all. Whoever made your 3rd and 4th burner account, you the real MVP. Unfortunately, now we got to get to 50, y'all. So we got to get 9 more. Got to keep on making those accounts. Get your significant others involved. I know they haven't left a rating yet. They probably listened to a couple episodes by now, but no ratings.
And I know she's got an Apple and Spotify account for those podcasts. She listens to those murder mysteries. I know it. I know. Last podcast on the left. I know she's on that shit. I know she was all over your ass, annoying the fuck out of you with the Jeffrey Dahmer bullshit. So just tell her, just get on her phone. Honestly, get on her phone, take it, say, baby, I sat there, I listened to you for 2 hours talk about how hot Evan Peters is. Just let me give me your phone. Let me rate this bitch. Just real quick, take 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do it while she's asleep. She won't even know.
She won't even idea. Fucking know. Because I know you going through her texts.
I'm about to say, you insecure ass. I know you don't trust her. While you checking the messages, you might as well open up that Spotify app. 5-star
for
rating.
all of you in healthy relationships.
Quick.
The other, how many people do we have? The other 41 of you.
Yeah. That's not a good ratio given like our viewers and subscribers. That's a very low ratio. This is why the West is falling. But that's a different topic for a different day. We hope you guys enjoyed. Connor, why don't you get out of here and go to work? We'll see y'all in the next episode.